Hi ladies, if you're watching this video, it's very likely I've sent it to you to help guide you towards how to correctly measure the length of your topper. My particular topper that I'm wearing right now is 24 inches and there are a few factors to consider. Getting the length wrong, going too short, not going too long, is really a make or break when it comes to topper wearing. People tend to confuse topper measurements with hair extension measurements, but hair extensions start underneath. So whilst 18 inches on a hair extension might feel very long, on a topper where it starts from the top can end up shorter than you might think. So always measure. What you need to get started is a long bendy measuring tape. Please don't use the builders, you know, straight rigid measuring tapes. They won't give you an accurate measurement. So starting with the very tip of the measuring tape, you anchor it right in the middle of the top of your head, almost like somebody's dropped an anchor right in the middle of the top of your head. Now you don't measure like this, you go back and over, almost under your armpit, and you pull and stretch to gain your measurement. So like this is the correct measurement. One hand holding middle of the top of your head and the other hand pulling, because we always measure pulled straight. Pull your hair, don't let it spring up and then measure like this. Pull and stretch your hair. You might want to get somebody to sort of get under there and tell you what that measurement is. A lot of my ladies partners are super helpful and happy to help. My particular one has come up at 24 inches, which is about right. So that's the measurement of your bio hair. Obviously you're not going to be measuring with your hair topper on. I just happen to have mine on. You would be measuring, that would be your bio hair length. So say for example, I measured my bio hair. I would say my bio hair is about 18 inches. That's my hair right there, little thin ends. My hair's 18 inches. Now at that point, you need to decide how much longer do I want my topper to be? And again, measure. So say my bio hair was 18 inches. Let's just tuck that in. And then, but I wanted my hair to be long. I would measure my bio hair and I would get that calculation, and that's exactly what I said, 18. Then I would get my measuring tape and say, well, how much longer do I want to be? And measure. That's how you gain. So it's almost like you need two measurements. You need one for what your hair is, and if that's how long you want your topper to be, then that's the measurement you need. And the other way to measure, if you want your topper to give you length, then you need to have in mind what length you would like your topper to be. And then that would be the length that you would purchase. One more thing to bear in mind is curls, waves. They spring hair up. So if you want to wear your hair wavy or curly, always add an inch or so wiggle room for that extra length that you're going to lose as it curls up. Now, the length that we're discussing, that's sides and back. The front will always be shorter because that's usually most clients go for a face frame cut. Few of my clients like this, you know, all one length, Morticia Adams type look. If you do, then absolutely go for it. But if you like some, you know, shorter layering, again, you can choose a face frame cut. Now that's not going to determine the length. The length is completely separate. But because the face frame cut is cut for you, you can measure and let us know. Now, usually, how you would measure is right at the front of your hair topper. So sort of like where your hairline ends and your topper starts. That's going to be where your topper's going to sit. Now you see here, 8 or 9, that's where usually I start my face frames. But some clients, especially if they're rocking a super long hairdo, they don't want the first layer to be there. Again, you can measure how long you want it to be. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You decide. Remember, the shorter the face frame, the more of a V and a really beautiful angled cut you're going to get. But if you want something really natural, sort of like how I have, then you just have more of a feather in. And of course, the waves will blur that out as well. If you want any other measurement other than what's included, which is 8 to 9 inches, then write that in your message box. So you choose your bio hair length, you measure, you decide if you want the topper to be longer, and that's the length of the topper you'll be purchasing. And if you choose a face frame cut and you don't want the standard chin, if you like what you've seen me do on Instagram and YouTube, then just put nothing. I will cut like I normally cut. But if you want something particular, write that in the message box or email me straight after, hello@perfectfringe.co.uk, and say, hey Andrea, I need my face frame to start from. 12 inches, for example. Now, you might get a bit confused when it comes to gram. Try not to worry too much about it. I like to personally guide my clients through. The way I like to say is length and gram go hand in hand. So for example, my topper is a 24 inch and the gram is around 165. That is just thick enough to give you the extra length. The longer you want to go, the higher the gram needs to be. If, for example, your hair is 18 inches and you just don't want any extra length and you want as little as possible with regards to gram, then that would be super lightweight. But if you want your topper to give you extra length, it has to have some extra gram in order to hide the little short bits of your bio hair which might be poking through. If you're stuck and you're not sure, we're going to ask you, would you like less is more, happy medium, or va-va-voom? And at that point, all you have to answer is that, and I can always just help you with the gram. I can predict it for you. I've been doing toppers now for 17 years. Thousands and thousands of toppers have gone through these two hands, so I usually know the gram and the length like the back of my hand, so I leave it to the client to decide what they would like. I hope this video has helped you. Oh, while I'm at it, for measuring your fringe, again, always measure right here. Do you see where my hair topper is? That's my topper right there. So for example, straight across, my topper would start there, 4, 4.5, 5. And again, for the sweep, never measure like that, measure like this to allow for the sweep. So for a side sweeping fringe, like so, 6, 7, 8, middle part, 6, 7, 8. Always allow for that curve when you're measuring. So exactly where I'm holding it, and that should help you measure when it comes to the fringe. That's to help you measure when it comes to the face frame, and that's to help you measure for the overall length. I really hope that has helped. Any questions, always reach out. You can book a free video consult for the day. I can always guide you one-to-one and make the time for my clients to make sure you get the right length, the right piece, the right color, the right texture, the right everything. Okay, we'll speak soon. Bye, ladies.